Hi everybody, welcome to Helsdon Outdoors. Now I'll show you how to make your own bug net for your hammock. And I will show you how to take measurements so that it fits any hammock. The measurements for this hammock, our own Helsdon hammock, can be found in the description for this video. What you need is bug net, of course. You need some elastic string. You need two locks for the elastic string, a zipper, and some thread. And the tools needed are needles, safety pins, scissors, sewing machine, and an iron. I will start by putting the bug net over the ridge line, hanging down on both sides. And then I will use safety pins to mark out where I will be sewing. I will leave holes on both ends, about 15 centimeters, so that I can get the hammock into the bug net. Those holes will be closed using the elastic string. And after that, I will get into the hammock to try and see if my measurements are correct. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit too big, it will fit, even if it's too big, but it mustn't be too small. And if it's too small, I will just adjust my safety pins. All right, all the safety pins are in place. Now it's time to get in to see if the measurements are correct, even when the hammock is weighed down by my body. Also, when inside, I will mark out where to put the zipper, and I want the zipper at the same height as the side of the hammock when it's weighed down, so it's easy to get out. There, all the measurements were okay. It wasn't too small, and the safety pins for the zipper are in place. Time to get inside and start working. So I have attached the zipper using needles where I marked out with safety pins. Time to start to sew it on, and I sew at the very edge on both sides, and I do this before cutting the bug net. Don't forget to put a couple of stitches across the zipper so that the zipper pull can't come off. Be careful, it's easy to break the needle when you go across the zipper itself. And do this couple more times than you think is needed, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so I've opened up the zipper and now I cut the bug knit. It's a lot easier doing this after the zipper is sewed on with one stitch on each side. And I think the zipper should be on the inside of the bug knit. Doesn't matter too much if you put it on the outside, but I think it looks a little bit better if it's on the inside. So with the excess material, fold it in and put a needle through it to make it stay in place. And then sew once more. And when you do this, it's a good idea to have one of those half foots or whatever they're called, because it's a little bit tight with the zipper there, and the zipper can easily push the foot too far to the side. So the zipper is there, and now I just put a ruler and I cut the excess material from the side of the bug knit, and the ruler is placed where I previously marked with the safety pins. It's kind of hard to cut this straight, but it doesn't really matter because it gets folded in and nobody will notice the sloppiness of my cutting anyway. Make it too big rather than too small. Now I need to make 4 holes. So I kind of do a hash mark kind of pattern. This is where the elastic cord is going to go so that we can close it up at the ridge line. Should be about 15 centimeters from the ridge line on both sides and on both sides of the hammock too. So 4 holes. Oh, the overlapping there was a little bit too little, so I have to put a few more stitches in there. Okay, so now fold it up the side 2 centimeters first, and then 2 more centimeters, and put needle through there. At the very top, at the ridge line, about 15 centimeters on each side, I'm going to put a single row of stitches in to make kind of like a little canal that my elastic cord can go through. And this is the canal that I'm creating now. So just one, I sew this one time. Everything else I sew twice. But this is just the one to make a little bit of a canal here for the elastic cord. And I go from one of those little holes that I created earlier to the other one. And pass the hole and then attach the thread there. So the canal is done. Put the holes together and then attach the 2 sides to each other. And the best way of doing this is to do it inside out. It looks a little bit better. It doesn't really matter, but it looks better. So I didn't film the actually sewing of the sides because it's kind of boring to look at. And then I cut the bottom end and I fold it over twice. This is the bottom end, put needle in, and then again double stitches so that no mosquitoes can get in whatsoever. And this is the final sewing that I need to do at the bottom. And when I'm done, I turn it inside out, or actually it was inside out, so I turn it the right side out. And now the final thing is to put the elastic cord in, and I attach the elastic cord to a safety pin. It's easier to get the safety pin through this little canal because it's hard. The elastic cord is soft. And get it all the way through and out the other little hole that I made.
It's better to have a little bit too much elastic cord than a little bit too little. So make it a little bit longer than you think. So there, I'm all through the little canal. Now let's cut off the cord. And after you cut it, burn it just a little bit so that you don't get any fraying. And after burning it, tie a little knot at the end so that the cords stop. The white thing there can't come off. There. It's long enough, and that's what it looks like.
All right, time to test the final product. I've already put the hammock up here on the suspension webbing, and now it's time to pull it over the hammock. All right, now I just have to see if it's easy to get in and out, and if it works with me in the hammock. Sure, it was easy to get in, easy to close after me, and I won't be bothered by any mosquitoes. This project wasn't very difficult. It's just straight stitching all the way. A little bit of a curve here for the zipper, but doesn't make it any more difficult. The only thing that I felt was a little bit difficult was the material itself, the mesh, because it's mostly air. So it was kind of hard to fold it and make it stay folded. And also the needles didn't really stick in this material all the time. So sometimes they came loose when they shouldn't come loose. But apart from that, it was a fairly simple task, and it took me probably a couple of hours. Let's see if it's easy to get out as well. Sure. So good luck if you want to make your own bug net. Measurements and drawings for this particular one can be found in the description of this video. But you can make your own measurements based on your own hammock and your own needs. Thanks for watching.